Learning how to properly hip hinge is especially important for runners and cyclists because it supports efficient movement, better power production, and injury prevention. The hip hinge teaches you to generate force from the hips, primarily the glutes and hamstrings, rather than relying on the lower back or quads alone. For runners, this translates to a stronger push-off and better propulsion. For cyclists, it supports powerful, controlled force generated from the hips and into the pedal stroke, especially during climbing and sprinting. A proper hip hinge also allows the hips to move independently while the spine stays stable. This is called lumbopelvic dissociation. Runners and cyclists often accumulate fatigue that leads to compensatory movement through the lower back, so learning to hinge properly reduces unnecessary spinal motion and lowers the risk of back pain. Key exercises like deadlifts, kettlebell swings, and squats rely on the hip hinge. When runners and cyclists hinge well, these exercises become safer and more effective, leading to better carryover to sport performance. One of my favorite ways to train the hip hinge is to use an object like a dowel rod or a broomstick to teach the body how to move solely through the hips while keeping the spine and torso neutral. So pause this video and go grab an object that will work well for this demonstration. Okay. So first, we want to stand with our feet about hip width apart. Keep your weight evenly distributed through your heels and midfoot. Soften your knees slightly. Do not lock them out. Hold the dowel rod behind you so that it touches the back of your head, your mid-back, and your tailbone. Do not lose these contact points. Stand tall with your rib cage stacked over your pelvis. Do not hyperextend your spine and let your ribs flare out. Maintain a neutral spine from head to tailbone and keep the dowel rod touching all three contact points. Gently tighten your abdominal muscles as if preparing to be lightly poked in the stomach. This helps stabilize your spine. And then push your hips straight back as if you're trying to touch a wall behind you. Your chest will naturally tip forward while your spine stays neutral. Keep shins mostly vertical. Your knees will bend slightly, but they should not travel far forward. Most of the movement comes from the hips moving back. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings and glutes. Lower until you feel tension in the back of your legs and stop before your back starts to round. Do not lose those dowel rod contact points at any point throughout the movement. And then drive through your heels, squeeze those glutes, and bring your hips forward, returning to an upright position. This is also a single leg version you can try that is the foundation for the single leg RDL or single leg deadlift.